Okay, today I want to talk about another issue that I see kind of plaguing youth baseball, and it's coaches making it about themselves. So I'm currently recruiting for a national team right now, and I went to watch a player, and I was walking up to the field. I knew they were playing. I didn't know the inning. I didn't know the score. I didn't know anything about the game. I just finished coaching my game, and I was walking up to the field, and I was about 50 or so feet behind the backstop. And what I could see was there was a runner on first and a kid up to the plate. And again, don't know the score, don't know the inning, don't know the situation, and I see the hitter hit a dribbler between pitcher and third base. The third baseman picks it up, throws to first. He overthrows first base. The the base runner at first advances to second, then he moves to third while the batter runner touches first and starts to head towards second. Then I see the first baseman or right fielder, I'm not sure who it was, pick up the ball and try to make a play on their runner at third, only to throw the ball away again at third to let that runner score and allow the batter runner who hit a dribbler to go from first to second and then from second to home on that second overthrow. And while this play is happening, I'm just thinking like, man, that's really bad baseball to allow that to happen on defense. And then while this kind of runner is advancing from second to third, um, one of the coaches in the dugout, one of the five coaches in the dugout, let me point that out, was completely going crazy. Like jumping up and down was by far the biggest celebrator in that entire dugout. Not the kids, but a coach was completely going out of his mind, celebrating, jumping up and down, hugging the kids. And I was like, wow, like maybe they walked off the game and won or something like the fact, but like still, even in that situation, like for the coach to be the happiest guy in the dugout when you win a game on a dribbler and two overthrows really told me a lot about that team before I even got there. And so I watched that scenario happen. Like I said the coach was completely bananas and stayed that way for multiple minutes. Um, was up towards home plate celebrating, was up and down between the dugout and home plate celebrating, trying to celebrate with the fans. It was a scene, it really was. And so I immediately just turned around and walked away. Like I didn't even want to go talk to the player that I was looking at in that setting. And I also knew the game had ended, but it was a lot for me to take in as a coach that's recruiting a player for my national team to see that kind of atmosphere and behavior. It's not something that I want to be a part of. And to kind of put a bow on that story, so when I go back and was kind of looking at game changer kind of after the day, I realized that that run was not a walk-off win, but it was a run that spread the game to win. So that celebration came on a dribbler hit to between pitcher and third base, two overthrows by what would have been 12-year-olds, and to score not the first run, but the 10th run to win 15-5. And even more when I take that into context of that, like that coach has zero interest in coaching or teaching baseball. All they care about is winning. Because if he cared more about teaching, he would have talked to his hitter about running the bases properly because there was mistakes on the base path. He would have talked about the guys at home plate directing traffic, teaching guys when and where to slide as an on deck hitter that that's your job. He would have there's so many teaching opportunities in that moment that were missed because all they wanted to do was score that run to spread a game which ends the game. And I don't understand why we want to put that level of intensity into our celebration as a coach when there are so many teaching opportunities left on the table. So my challenge to you as parents as coaches is this is when you're coaching baseball, I don't want you to think of it in terms of winning and losing. I want you to think that your job to teach baseball at these younger ages to prepare these guys when they go to high school, middle school, high school, or college baseball. You need to teach them all the ins and outs of the game. So when they get to that level where everybody can play and everybody's at the same skill level, it's the little things that separate the good from the great. So again, coaches, parents, don't make it about yourself. If you're the most excited person or the most emotional person after a win or a loss in the dugout or in the car ride home, I really need you to go take a deep, long look in the mirror and ask yourself, Why is so important to you, right? Why is this 12-year-old baseball game so important to you that you overshadow the kids with your frustration or celebration? And what is the ultimate goal that we're trying to accomplish there? Okay. If you can answer that question for me, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I'd love to create some banner back and forth on exactly what motivates us as coaches and parents to behave that way. I'll see you next time.